Kayla, go in 5, and then we'll get that'll be our cue.
Okay. In five,
5,
four,
4,
4,
three,
3,
3,
2,
2,
2,
1.
1.
1.
Welcome to Gaming for Goofballs. I'm your host, Kala, and this is our Discord. We call it P Circle. Don't ask where that name came from. I don't know. Joining me today, I have Mr. Damian. I have Damian. I have Mr. Diehard, Charlie. The
Oh,
North
hello.
Nova is Jake, and Mia is Mia, and What's Poppin' is Cody, but Cody is just here to listen. He's our first podcast listener. How cool is that? Give us a round of applause, Cody. Thank you.
Amazing.
So,
Thank you,
all right.
Cody.
Today we're gonna be diving into. He just said clap. He just texted clap. Hold on. Okay, so we love Roblox horror games. Okay, they are so good. Creators of shut up. Creators of Roblox horror games have some of the most talent in making games that I have ever seen, and that's coming from someone who I don't play a lot of games. But, well, actually, no, I do. I play. I don't know. What is there? Nobody else is talking.
Yeah, well, because you're talking over us. So
I'm
You're
so-
doing
I'm
you're doing
sorry.
you're doing your
It's your intro.
introduction.
Okay.
Title
Yeah, you're
card.
doing the intro.
Okay.
You're our host. You're our host.
All right,
You're
and
so
then you
you're
can
so
just
right.
go into a game, and then we start talking.
Go into a game. Okay, so I guess we'll talk about the first one,
Mhm.
which is Before Truth, which was played by Mia and Charlie and another friend Livy, who is not here for the podcast. So, okay, Mia and Charlie. Okay, I want you to describe the game to our viewers first, our viewer, and then my class viewers.
Okay.
All right, you want to go first?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, all right. So, personally, I don't really play that many Roblox games, so the first thing that really popped out to me was how well the graphics were. Um, I wasn't expecting to see some kind of masterpiece like hopping onto like a Roblox game. You expect to see like blocks and stuff, but like it actually looked good, and I was invested into the game, for the most part. The game we played, it like pretty much entirely set in a haunted house, and it was just really cool to see that it actually looked like a haunted house. It wasn't like like a brick, because it's in a
Wasn't a
Roblox game.
brick.
I don't
It
know.
wasn't
Yeah.
a brick. It definitely was not a brick. It was it's a really well made game. The whole atmosphere is eerie, and there's the placement of everything in the house. You can tell that they really put a lot into it. There's puzzles, and it's a really good game to play with your friends. There's
Yeah.
little notes and objectives you have to do. And there's also like the jump scares and creepy ambiance and the noises.
It was really fun. Every part of the game had like something to do. Like
Yeah.
in the beginning, like you'd pick up something and not know what to do with it, but like you continue playing, and like after you got to like the second floor, it finally makes sense. Like
Yeah.
wasn't there a safe at the bottom of like either in the basement or on the first floor, and then you'd have to go up to the second floor to find a code, and then when you
Yeah.
found that code, you go back downstairs, and all kind of like
Yeah.
came together. It was really fun. I
It's
also
really
Sounds
fun,
cool.
yeah.
Now I'm kind of sad that I didn't play it with you guys.
No, it's really cool. As you go along, you get different stuff to put in. Like he was saying, like you get pieces of a picture to put into a picture frame, and then you get something from that. There's doors hidden behind bookshelves, which like you
Love
wouldn't
that.
expect that kind of like design choices from a Roblox game. Like I feel like Roblox games are usually just straightforward, but this person put a lot of detail into making it like an actual horror game where you have to do puzzles to
Yeah,
get
Love
definitely.
anywhere.
that.
And there was something I also liked. The jump scares, they weren't just like out of the blue. You could
Mhm.
actually tell where they're coming from. So, like while you're exploring this house, there'd be dark spots in the house, and occasionally, what would happen is there'd be a pair of eyes staring at you. It's kind of creepy, but if you approach the eyes, they just jump out at you, and it's a jump scare, and you get killed, I guess. So like you actually have to like watch out for like a person that's like following you around the house, and it makes the atmosphere feel more complete.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So what? Okay,
I
so I
actually
know.
oh
Oh, no, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
actually screamed at the first jump scare because I was not expecting it.
Yeah.
I was so surprised. It was actually kind of funny.
That is funny. I don't think I've ever seen you get scared at a game ever. I literally walked into his room the other day. He had his headphones on. I go, rah! And he just goes, hi. And he turns back to his game. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I know that game has like jump scares and stuff like that, and it's considered a horror game. So what do you guys think was the scariest part of the game?
That first jump scare was kind of terrifying to me. I thought it was just kind of like you'd walk around the house like an escape room and collecting stuff. I didn't realize there was jump scares in the game. So like I thought I saw a pair of eyes in the side of the room, and I thought like, oh look, they just put some googly eyes in the side of the room for some fun. And I walked up to it, and then I got jump scared and killed, and I was so terrified. But the sound really got me. It was really loud because my headphones were not adjusted correctly. But
That's so funny. What about you, Mia?
Yeah. There were some pretty good jump scares, and I think just the overall atmosphere was what really did it. Like he said, the dark spots and the eyes looking at you, and just constantly feeling like you were being watched. And the upstairs, I would say, has the scariest parts. There's like vents that you crawl through, and you don't know what's gonna come out of them, or if there's anything in there, and stuff like that, where you really didn't know what you were gonna get into. That
And that
really
was when
kept
you
you on
guys
edge.
pushed Livy into like a creepy room, right? Like through
Right.
the
She
vents.
oh yeah,
she went AFK, and we decided to push her through the vent. Which,
The-
yeah, she made us way too long.
It's okay.
honestly,
She just had to take her dogs out. Alright, so if you guys, as the ones who played it, could give it a scary rating between 0, being this game is doo-doo dog water, to 10, which is like, this game made me shit my pants, what do you think you would give it?
I think I'd give it a solid 6.5.
Ooh.
It wasn't
pretty
like
good.
necessarily scary. The first scare really did get to me, but afterwards it got kind of like boring with how like it wasn't like it didn't get changed up at all. Like you could tell like when like something was gonna happen, and like not to go into dark patches in the map.
Right.
As long as you don't do that, it's really not that scary.
Right. I have to agree. Like they tell you, it's like written in blood on the wall. Don't stare into the eyes. So like they kind of give you hints as to how to avoid it, and that's the one thing that's like, well, just don't look in the eyes, and then you'll pretty much be safe.
Gotcha.
I
There's
give
no
it like
more
a
threat.
5. It definitely, if we're talking a horror, like Roblox horror games, this was really well made, and it did have some scary parts.
What did you just say?
I said next game.
Okay, well, hold on. I'm gonna preface this, everybody listening. When we get to the end, I'm gonna, tally up all these scores, and then we're gonna see what these games get, and we're gonna rank them from first place to third place. So we'll see how everything goes. What is that, Charlie?
Nothing.
Are you typing something?
Oh no, I'm not.
It sounds like you're like
Oh, my bad.
button mashing. Next
game.
okay, Damien.
Next
Next
game.
game. Okay, Damien must be excited for this one. So the next one is going to be Forgotten Memories. So if you have ever played the game Five Nights at Freddy's, or watched, or at least the games Five Nights at Freddy's, or watched people play through it, Forgotten Memories is basically based off of Five Nights at Freddy's. Good job, Cody. Wait, what's Jake's name?
Oh, what are you talking about? Wait.
We didn't get to that
Hey,
part
oh.
yet, Jake.
Hold on.
What? What are you talking about?
1,000 Peter.
What?
We didn't get to that part yet.
What?
We're talking
wrong?
about the Five Nights at Freddy's game first.
What? I don't get it. I don't
He
see
pleads
what's
the
going on.
fifth.
He pleads the fifth. He pleads the fifth. Oh,
This
okay.
is just who I am.
A1000 Peter.
What are you talking about? It's just my name.
Okay, Jake. Let's start talking about the FNAF game. So, okay,
Yeah.
so the game is Forgotten Memories, and it is, like I said, based off of Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually think Jake told me it was actually based off of a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, and by based off of, we mean, like, copied exactly. But it was honestly...
I will correct my previous statement.
Oh, okay.
The layout was, at least of the office, was identical to another FNAF fan game, but the actual core mechanics in the game itself was different.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think it was fantastic
Thank
how
you.
they
Like
executed it.
the gameplay was different, but
Mm.
the layout of the map was very similar to a FNAF fan game. The office was identical to another FNAF fan game,
Okay.
but the actual game itself was different.
Okay. Slay. And that was only like the
Yeah.
first level because we didn't beat it for a while because we didn't really know what we were doing. Does
It was fun,
anybody... Okay, so I'm going to be honest. As much as I love Roblox horror games, I am a wuss and I did not leave the office and I sat in a corner the entire time while everybody else did something. So does anyone want to talk about the tasks that you had to
Yeah.
do to kind of like save
Yeah,
us
yeah.
all?
I'll go.
Yeah. You'll go, Damian. Yeah.
Yeah. Shut the hell up before I beat. No. So. Yeah. So because you guys were wussing out,
It was
I had to
literally
go
only me.
in alone out there to get the power generation back on, get the ventilation back on. So Freddy was on my cheeks the entire time. Terrifying. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing. It was dark. It
was dark.
One thing
That's
that
it.
was kind of bad was it was a little bit dark in some areas. But other than that, like the dining hall, for example, where like the party room is and everything, they had like the atmospheric fog and everything that made it just like fantastic. And the lighting, I think, was also really, really good. So graphics wise, I think it was fantastic. The entities or the mobs, whatever, FNAF dudes,
Freddy
yeah,
Fazbear.
they were really well modeled.
Freddy
The
Fazbear.
whole
That is true.
office and
Yeah.
area, the map modeled very well. The gameplay, walking around, what I was doing the tasks, and then going right back inside before Freddy killed me.
I feel like
was pretty
Freddy
fun
was
and scary.
really like scary.
Yeah.
Even like
He
if
was.
you didn't
Dude,
die,
he was-
watching
Mhm.
other people get jump scared and killed by Freddy was like kind of like I got stuck in a corner. So I think
Yeah.
I even have a recorded clip of this, but I don't remember if I was recording it. Jake and I were in the office, and whoever else we were playing with, you guys were out. And Jake and
That
I
was
was stuck, and I was behind like a trash can or something, and Freddy came into the office,
Oh my God.
barreling towards Jake. Literally, I watched Jake get like picked up and eaten, and then Freddy stood there and stared at me for a
coming
good
back
like
and just
20
seeing
seconds.
Jake's head on the floor.
Yeah, and then I was stuck, and Freddy was like, the model or like the entity was like registering that I was there, but I was like not in a spot
Yeah.
it could get to me, so it wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And it was just standing and staring at me, and I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on? I was like, I can't move. And then it eventually
Yeah,
left.
and then
you came back.
legitimately, you guys locked me out as well. I remember
We did that.
Yeah,
We did it.
That was
It's
really
okay.
mean. Yeah,
It
so
was
I
funny.
honestly, I'd give that a pretty solid rating.
The
Yeah.
limited experience I had with playing this game was with Jake, and it seemed like a really, I don't know what difficulty we had it on, Jake, but it seemed like it was
For sure.
pretty hard to.
We had it on easy most of the time. I don't know if you guys ever
Yeah.
turned it up.
I'm pretty sure we played it on a pretty or we played it on normal or something like that. But I thought it was.
Oh.
I don't think I have enough experience. Of
Right.
The
It
game
seems
itself
like.
to tell because it could just
Yeah.
be that it's the FNAF fan game style of you learn. You learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
that's
lot
what
to
I
take in and a lot to remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Very,
Honestly, I
very
didn't
fun and well made game.
And it's a
expect
game
us to
that,
have
like-
to unlock stuff. because I wanted to
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
play like the security breach level, and then I realized I had to beat like 10 other levels to get there, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's definitely a game that I've only played once, but definitely stuck with me, and I've thought about like playing again, even just with
Same.
that one experience. It was definitely
Yeah.
creepy, and if you like Five Nights at Freddy's, you're definitely gonna like
Mm-hmm.
playing this game.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
what's
So I'd
everyone's
give
ratings?
this. Yeah, so I'd give this
Yeah.
a solid 8 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
It's
I was
pretty scary, especially if you're a first timer to Five
Yes.
Nights at Freddy's, and
Yeah.
you see him. I mean, you hear him chasing you, and it's absolutely terrifying.
I forgot
Um,
it made noise.
It's great. Yep.
Like it was
There-
clunking.
there are not a lot of free roam FNAF games, and so that
Hmm.
immediately makes me agree with Damian that it's like an 8 out of 10 because having free roam and management
Mhm.
of your resources is a really
Mhm.
cool combination.
Yeah. Also, the little storyline at the beginning is really
Mhm.
cool when you play with friends.
Right.
That is true with
I
fully
forgot about
voiced
that.
cutscenes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have
Very well
fully
made.
voiced cutscenes, which is like not anything I would ever expect
Yeah.
for a Roblox
And the only
game at
reason
all.
probably I wouldn't give it 10 or 9 is
Mhm.
because you really can't play this game alone. You have to have
Right.
friends with you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the difficulty scaling would just shoot right through the roof. It's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
So,
Which
Yep.
also I feel like I kind of need to test. Like it's one of those things where I don't know if the game actually scales with how many people are playing.
Right.
mhm.
I don't know.
We
That's
can
just a really
test that.
interesting thing to think about is
Yeah.
that it may.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would have to agree with an 8 out of 10. Probably for like the same reasons. I genuinely don't think it's a game, as far as we know, that you can play by yourself. But as someone who wussed out the entire game, I was terrified. There's also like the marionette puppet part where you have to keep closing the
Mhm.
curtain. That was my job. I did die to Freddy doing that because I wasn't paying attention to everything behind me. But it was genuinely, it was scary. I thought it was really good though. And like the graphics were great. It was like foggy. Like it was foggy. That was like scary in itself. So I'm also going to give it an 8. I think that I could get behind that. Probably wouldn't play it by myself, but with other people, again, probably, and during the daytime.
Yeah.
So, next game. All right. Jake, it's your time to shine.
What are
It's
you
your time
talking
to
about?
shine, sweetheart.
This is just.
We're
what?
going to be talking about
Are we talking about my livelihood? My
your livelihood.
my
That's so
pride and joy
sad. Sorry. Your
You think
pride
that-
and joy.
lets me wake up in the morning.
Yes, you won't even play it with me. You have not played it with me in so long.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Damian.
What?
Okay, anyway. Oh, guys.
You know I have PTSD.
We
What game is this? What game is
are
this,
going to be
guys?
talking about the hit Roblox horror game, Doors.
No way, dude.
Amazing.
Mind blown. So basically, Doors is a very popular Roblox horror game where you are in this big hotel that has 100 floors, I guess. It's like 100 doors. And there are a bunch of different entities, I guess, trying to stop you from getting to the end. They all kill you, most of them. Not all of them, but most of them kill you. But there's
I
another
will say,
special...
according to the Doors wiki, there's
Oh my God.
actually a lot of entities in the game that are passive, like
You are a
entities in the
nerd.
shop after the library level.
Oh, I
Um,
love Jeff's shop.
Also, guiding light
So cute.
also counts as an entity that is passive and is actively trying to help you.
Really?
Get through all of
I
the
through it
doors.
was something
Mhm.
coming to kill me for a while.
Mhm.
We didn't even get into the full game. You just started spitting your wiki facts.
Just common knowledge.
Now I guess for this one I should probably enlarge the A1000 beater because you're
Oh,
the only
yeah.
one that's beat the game fully. So, Doors is just the base game. You go through 100 levels of these entities, some of them trying to stop you, I guess some of them also trying to help you. There are little, tiny little spider bug things that go psst. And if you don't look at them in a certain amount of time, I think that they harm you. And basically you just have to continue to try and work your way through the doors. There are a few chase scenes that are really fun, and also can be really scary. Or at least they were originally. I think after you do it a while, they're not as scary. And the beat to those chase scenes, we made a song. We made a song to it.
Are you gonna sing them?
Yes, ready? Wait, wait, Jake,
Uh-huh.
Jake. We have to do it together, ready? The Reese's peanut butter
The
bats.
Discord lag is not making this easy.
No, it's not.
Peanut butter bats. So the story behind that is we started playing this game a few months ago, and I had Reese's peanut butter bats, and
I think it was me who had them.
Was it? I thought I had them. Oh, maybe I had pumpkins. You had bats.
Everybody had them.
We were all eating Reese's because it was around Halloween.
Anyway, yeah.
Whoever had them, someone had Reese's peanut butter bats, and we were like, wow, the amount of syllables in that goes with the amount of beats in the chase song. So we made a song, and every time we do a chase scene, we have to sing it because that means that we're gonna win. So if you guys ever play Doors and you want to win, sing Reese's peanut butter bats to yourself, and you're gonna win it. You're gonna be fine. But I don't know why I'm talking about it so much because Jake is literally the one that beat the game.
Yeah, for real.
Multiple
Yes.
times.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm gonna be quiet now because I usually die after like level 50. So Jake,
Before level 50.
no, I can make it through level 50 if someone carries me. So anyway, Jake,
Yeah.
take it away. Start talking
So-
about it.
I think that Doors is a absolutely spectacular horror game, especially from like the Roblox genre of horror games.
Mhm.
I think it is one that stands like at the top because of how well everything in it is put together.
Mhm.
Almost all of the entities you are given no hints, but I feel like it is very reasonable that someone like paying close attention on their first run can make it very far and survive a couple
Mhm.
entities based off of
Yeah.
like context clues alone, which
Very
is
true.
a really hard thing. I feel that like a lot of these days, even like professional horror games don't get. A lot of
Yeah.
it is explanation, and then
Mhm.
you're forced to deal with it. But Doors will only give you hints and explanations if you die to the entity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it creates a very experience-driven.
Mhm.
It has very experience-driven gameplay, and
Yeah.
it's not easy. It's not an easy game,
Definitely
and
not.
Mhm.
especially now after its recent edition of a entirely second floor called the Rooms, where you have to go through 1,000 rooms and fend off 3 entities consistently for over the course of like 2-ish hours.
And most of them are sound based in that, right? Because
Yes,
indoors, a lot of them are sound based, but you can have a lot of visual cues. In A1000, it's a lot of sound. Like, you cannot be listening to, like, unless Jake beat it listening to music, because I wouldn't be able to do that. But
no. Mm-mm. I had like my sound was up way higher than I've ever had it for any game ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I
It
remember
is-
going psst to Jake just to wake him up, just to keep him on his toes.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
It is an entirely sound based. The difference between Doors and Rooms is that Doors has like oftentimes for a lot of its entities visual cues.
Mm-hmm.
There's visual and audio cues that set you off as like oh okay, something's happening. But with the Rooms, you are thrown headfirst into a super dark area that you only know if anything is coming by sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool way to change up the gameplay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, with the
Yeah.
gameplay and changing up, also the replayability value
I was just about to
is
say that.
very,
Oh.
very
Yeah.
high.
Which I
It's you can
like.
sink in a good 20 hours, maybe
Mhm.
more, to beat the game. It's pretty decent.
Definitely.
It is so rare to see a horror game today have good replayability. And
Mhm.
I
Right.
feel Doors nails having like it makes you want to play more.
Mhm.
Definitely. If it
And
was
this is
on
before
Steam, I
they've
would buy
even
it.
added the sequel.
We were playing through it like a bunch before they even like added it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even like now, I have the urge to return to it every once in a while, and I'm like, I want to play some Doors.
Yeah.
Like it's just fun. It is a fun, while also simultaneously being scary,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you could just play it over and over.
Yeah.
Procedural generation is such a fun thing to deal with
Mm-hmm.
in games. That's why
Yeah.
Minecraft is so popular. Um, the game this was based the game Doors was based on, or at least took some inspiration from. Also was the same concept. Uh, thousand thousand doors. You run through it, meet a couple entities, and then you progressively learn how to deal with them.
Yeah, I think the way they do it where you have these entities and you kind of figure out how to deal with them as you go along, and then they'll throw in a chase scene or they'll throw in a
Mm-hmm.
puzzle room or like stuff like that where you don't really know what's going to happen and it's different every time.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's quite literally only gotten better.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
we
Definitely.
played it back during the first update, which was
Mhm.
really good, really good.
Yeah. It was
But then
already
they
good. Yeah.
but then they updated it, overhauled the animations, added more to the game, more random occurrences, more
Mhm.
like ambiance and all of that,
They
making
added
it
extra rooms. Yeah.
extra
Yeah.
Everything.
New
rooms, yeah,
rooms. That was fun to
more
explore.
items,
New mechanic. Yeah.
yeah,
Like
new
with
mechanics.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was something I also wanted to mention was the fact that there are entities that are that have different rarities, and so
Mm-hmm.
you could go entire runs not seeing a single like not seeing almost half the entities in the game,
Mhm.
and it throws you off every once in a while when you're just trying to do a normal doors run, and all of a sudden there's the guy that makes you turn around like 7 times.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
That's actually
that's.
my
yeah.
scariest one. I
Me
actually think
too.
that's the scariest one.
I've never
Yeah.
actually been far enough to actually get that one. So I would say my scariest one was probably the glitch one because that was like it's not
Yeah.
like a jump scare,
Oh,
but that one freaks
Mhm.
me out because it's happened to me before.
that's
But
another thing
from
that
watching you guys, I know that the guy that makes you turn around 1,000 times is like freaky.
that's another thing I actually want to talk about. The one entity, the glitch.
Jake is
That-
stealing my
Mhm.
podcast.
I'm sorry. I love this game.
Remember, I had to edit this, so
Okay. And
we could have done an entire episode just on doors, and it could have just been Jake talking.
Hey,
Yeah.
I have more to say, but you know.
For
okay.
real,
I was
for real.
the last thing I'll just say about the glitch is the way it handles like a room glitching out, because you're gonna have a glitch with procedural generation at some point. The glitch's entire existence is to, instead of just resetting the room and breaking the immersion, throws an entity at you that you cannot avoid, will jump scare you and scare you and make you poo
Scare
yourself
your
a little
socks
bit.
off. Sorry.
And but it's all done just to fix an issue in the game without taking you out of the game,
Yeah,
which I think is such a cool concept.
that is really cool.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
unique,
I
yeah.
really like how you'll have rooms where you just go in and it's just a simple room and you don't have to do anything and you could be walking for 20 rooms and have to deal with only a couple entities and then all of a sudden you'll walk into a room and you don't know what you're going to get and you'll get a chase scene or you'll get whatever.
Mhm.
It's that's what makes it scary to me is that even though you know the entities, you don't know what room they're going to be in. Like,
Right.
it's so easy to lose yourself in conversation with your friends, and then all of a sudden you're jump scared because you walk behind a door.
Just to build off of that quickly, that's exactly how I feel. How there are only 2 rooms in the entire game that have set floors, being floor 50 and floor 100. The fact that everything else in the game can happen, even the events that have to happen every single run, since
Yeah.
they can happen at different points in the run, it's beautiful.
That reminds me of the sound design. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
as
don't even
well.
get me started on sound design.
Fantastic.
There are rooms
They
where you
did
have like
background music as well.
thunderstorming and oh my god, the background music at the
Yeah.
beginning. I was watching something and I realized that it reminded me of the Doors music, and Jacob was gonna send it to you, but I don't remember what it was. But it reminded me of the Doors music because it's just such a cute little like bouncy tune when you enter it, and then like just going through it you have such good like ambiance going on, like rain, thunder, just the sounds that the entities make.
I can't lie, I genuinely listen to the Doors soundtrack. I know, like I
He's
genuinely.
the A1000 beater. I mean, how are you
The
surprised at that?
A1000 beater. The
Like-
only music that Jake listens to is Doors and Puss in Boots.
Not true.
I like that you can play the game pretty casually, like cut that out, Calla, because I stuttered for a second. I like the fact that you could play the game pretty casually, but then you have the option to do the A1000 run, and it makes it a completely different experience, and it's harder, and it's like you get 2 different experiences out of the same game. And you also have the option to leave the A1000 run and go back to the normal game if you don't want to do the
That's
whole run.
true.
Yeah, which is also really nice because then you're not
Without
like,
having to restart the
stuck
whole
in it.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fact that it's so niche too. It's a very niche. Like you could just play the game and not find A1000 at all.
Right.
But
Right.
people love that kind of stuff. People love little, hard to find things because it makes them feel special when they do find it.
Yeah. I also
The only
just
thing-
a goated game all around. Anyway, yes, you go, Mia.
Me?
Yeah.
I also like the fact that there's like not really a set storyline. There's not like you don't really know what's going on, but you can kind of clue together. You're in this hotel, you're going through these rooms, these entities. You can kind of like glue it together yourself to see the story that plays out.
No.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's happening in the story. I just play it to play it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I have no idea if there's a story or not.
What do you feel about that, Jake?
I feel like Doors in it of itself is like the story. It's one of those games where the story is not in front of you.
Right.
It doesn't push it on you, which
Right.
I feel is
Yeah.
really
I guess
neat.
so, yeah. Well, you can really see the story is floor 50 and floor 100. And floor 1, I guess, when you enter the elevator. That's where you really can see, I guess, what's going on behind the scenes.
Man,
Right. And that's what I mean. It's not like right
Yeah.
there. You kind of have to go through it and figure it out, but it's not like it's not
There's
one of those
multiple,
like
there's not one view. You know?
right. Right. Exactly.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen this since OG FNAF, but Doors to me feels like when FNAF started and all of the lore was based on implication and what people theory crafted about the game.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I've always liked that because I feel like that builds its own community.
Yeah.
Very true. Well, since I know we could talk about Doors all night, but I have to edit this. So, maybe we'll do this for fun another day and only talk about Doors since everybody now knows that we love it. And I am going to ask you guys for your ratings, which I feel like I can guess what most of them are going to be. But I'm going to start with Mia. What's your rating?
I I would give it a 9.
9. All right. Jake.
I agree. I think I would also give it a 9. I think the only reason why I wouldn't give it a 10 is since it's not done.
Fair.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we're still waiting for more. But if it continues this way, I think it could be a 10 out of 10.
Awesome. All right. And Damian.
A good 8.5. Just because the atmosphere does need a little bit of work.
Okay.
I can see
'Cause
that.
it's some of the rooms are very bright and it's hard to get scared
That's very
Mhm.
true.
sometimes. So and sometimes it's really just annoying rather than scary.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Other than that, it's solid.
I'm going to give it a 9 as well. I think it's one of my favorite Roblox games that I've ever found. And if I wasn't such a wuss, I would play it by myself. But instead, I have to come into our Discord call and beg someone to play. Even though, as we said, there's a lot of playability. So it's like, it's really great in that sense. It's just the fact that the playability is a little scary for me. I love horror games, but I need to play them during the day. So...
Yeah.
I need to go to sleep.
Good night, Damien.
Good night, Damian.
Good night,
Yeah.
Damien.
And this is
Yeah,
where
you
you don't
Damian
need me
gets
anymore.
off.
We're good.
We're good. You're good to go.
We're good. All right,
Take
good
it on
night,
this
guys.
game.
Damian.
Good night.
Good night.
Night. The ratings are in. We did lose Damian. It's past his bedtime. But we have Before Truth averaging at a 5.8. We have Forgotten Memories averaging at a 12. And we have Doors averaging at 17.8. So I think we know which one's the winner. So we have Before Truth in last place, Forgotten Memories in second place, and yep, that was my drum roll. Doors is the winner.
Oh,
As it should
amazing.
be.
And I know for
Who would have thought?
not me. I definitely didn't know. I didn't know that was going to happen. I definitely didn't put Doors at the end for that purpose. But we're all getting very tired. Our Discord calls happen very late at night usually. And it's usually on a school night and none of us get sleep. So, all right.
Say bye.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right.
Thank you all for watching and see you
Good
next
evening.
video. Bye-bye.
Oh yeah.
Good evening.
Bye.
I am going, yeah, okay. This has been Gaming with Goofballs. We hope that you join our Discord call for another episode in the future. Thank you so much for listening. Especially thank you to Cody, our first listener ever.
Wow.
And I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Bye.
Bye.
Come
He said
on.
clap again.
Wow.